Okay, so I presume this will be our second video of talking about the basics of motorcycles. So we finished the first part with the clutch and the shifter. Okay. Now before you start riding your motorcycle, you need to check your chain. Okay. The chain has to be adjusted properly. This chain is okay still. It's a little bit loose. I don't know if you can see it on this. It's a little bit loose, but it's still fine. If you have a chain that's just completely loose and is wobbling all over the place, that chain needs to be adjusted ASAP, or else, you know, bad things will happen. Your chain can rip off. You could get stuck on your sprocket. So just maintain your chain, oil it, lubricate it, and adjust your chain. The way you adjust it is there's an axle nut here. Same thing for the other side. You have to jack the rear of the bike into the air, and using these screws here, you will adjust where this wheel is located. So you could pull it back a little bit, and the chain will cut the slack. Okay. Now, when you're first buying a bike or trying to ride a bike, sit on the bike. Okay, like I am sitting like this. Kickstand is on the left side. Kick it up with your heel. Okay, try to have a nice and wide position. Yeah, don't sit like this. You have no control of the bike. Nice and wide. Okay, bike is not going anywhere. Make sure you could flat foot the bike. If you can flat foot a bike, especially sport bikes, they have a little bit of a higher sitting position. So if you can't flat foot that bike, you're gonna feel a little bit unsafe. You're gonna feel a little bit weird on the bike. And if you have that feeling of, you know, it's just not safe to have that feeling. So make sure you can flat foot it. If it's a higher bike for you, make sure you lower it, and then you're ready to ride a bike. Okay. Now the first thing you do when you sit on a bike, make sure you can hold that bike in case it's falling over. Okay. So what you do is sit on the bike and tip the bike to either side. See, I'm tipping the bike. Let's see. Tipping the bike to this side, and then the same thing to the other side. Just tip it over. Yeah. Just so you know, you can hold on to the bike in case it's falling over. It'll give you confidence when you're doing slow maneuvers, going in first gear. Let's say you have to put your foot down, you'll know you can hold the bike. Okay. If the bike is too heavy and you can't hold it, then it's a big bike for you. I would recommend not to ride that bike. Okay. And also, when you start to ride the bike, let's put it on. You have to get used to your clutch, especially if you're a beginner. Okay. The way I recommend doing this is start the bike. Right now the bike is in neutral. You can see the light here. Start the bike. Yes, it's a little bit difficult to start when it's cold. So, okay, you're gonna start your bike. Okay, what you're gonna do to practice using the clutch is you're gonna put the bike in first gear. How you do that is you're gonna pull the clutch in, like so. Okay, you're gonna kick it down to first gear. Okay, now as long as you have the clutch pulled in, the bike is not gonna go anywhere. Okay, I've seen some crazy videos where people panic and they hit the throttle accidentally. Yeah, let's see. People hit the throttle accidentally like that, and they get really confused on what to do, and they start hitting the front brake, the rear brake, everything together, trying to, you know, use the clutch somehow, and they fuck up and they hit a tree. Okay, so anytime you hit that sound, you hear that sound of your throttle like that, and you don't want to go fast, just pull the clutch in and hold the clutch. If you're holding the clutch, the bike is not going to go anywhere. Okay. Now, to practice using the clutch, what you're going to do is you're going to slowly release the clutch in first gear. Okay? See, as you slowly release the clutch, the bike goes forward. Okay? Now, you're gonna have your feet on the side, okay? You slowly release the clutch forward, bike goes forward, pull it right back in, and you rock the bike. Okay? So release, bike goes forward, pull it in, rock the bike back. Okay? That point where the bike is going forward, MSF calls it the friction zone. It's just the area where, let's say, two gears, they come into contact with one another and they start to move the bike. Okay? So practice that a couple of times. Okay? Like that. Practice, practice. Okay. Now, you have to also get used to stalling the bike. Okay? You will stall it sooner or later. It's a matter of time. Okay? So, have the bike in first gear, clutch pulled in. If you let go of the clutch, the bike is going to stall. It's going to turn off. What do you do to start it? If you're in first gear, you're going to pull the clutch back in and you're going to hit the start right here. Okay? And the bike is up. You're running again. If you do it too many times, it's probably not good for your bike. So try to not stall your bike and practice in a parking lot like this. Nice parking lot. Okay. Practice in a parking lot before you're actually going and riding on the street. Okay. If it's a green light and you want to take off and you stall the bike, one, it's not safe. Okay. Two, it looks kind of silly, you know. And three is just practice. Make sure you can control the bike and then go on the street and ride step by step. Okay. I'm gonna turn off the bike right now. Your hand gets tired if you keep on holding the clutch, especially if you're on a sport bike. It has a tighter clutch, so your hand will get tired eventually. So if you're going through traffic and you have to use your clutch a little bit, your hand will be tired afterwards. Okay. And like I said, this is a Honda Rebel. It's a 250cc bike. I've had men and women train on this bike from 5'2" to 6'3". So this bike is very controllable. You can fit, for a 6'3" guy, actually it's a little bit small, the bike. So I would say to about 6'1", this bike is comfortable to ride. If you're a bigger guy, you probably want to look at buying a little bit of a bigger bike. Okay, but I'm not saying go crazy and buy a 1000cc motorcycle, 1600cc motorcycle, just something a little bit bigger, 600cc, 500cc. That's if you're a big, heavy-set guy. Okay, otherwise start off at 250 and you will be fine. Okay, I'm gonna cut this video off right here and I'll record a part 3 when I have my GoPro mounted, and I'll show you techniques of riding in first gear, second gear, counter steering, using the rear brake, using the front brake, how to stop quickly, how to drift around the cones like this. I'm sure, if you can control your drift, you could use it on the street. It can give you experience with using the rear brake, but it's just for fun that I use in the parking lot. So we'll do a little bit drifting with the back brake too. We'll do the motorcycle exam that they make you do at the DMV. So we'll set up some cones, we'll go through those cones, we'll set up a circle, we'll do a circle, and I'll just show you how to pass the DMV exam on the last video that we do. Maybe, I don't know, part 6 or so, around there. So if you're watching this video, just comment below, tell me how it is. It's my first video that I'm doing, so let me know. Thank you for watching. This is motorcycle training at Ride 360 private sessions, so have fun watching it.